Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for the support on the last video where I unveiled my new lo-fi sample pack. The pack is still online if you want to check it out. It has 170 different sounds for only $10, so I recommend checking it out. The track you're hearing in the background is made fully from sounds from the pack, and my last video on the channel I go over the contents of the pack and also make a little demo track with them. The link is in the description if you want to check the pack out. Recently I've been very into dark ambient stuff. Lo-Fi Girl recently released a compilation full of dark ambient tracks, so I've listened to that a lot. And since the genre has a lot in common with the type of lo-fi I make, I thought I'd give it a go and make a dark ambient track. So today we're gonna take a look at the first dark ambient track I've ever made, go through the things I have going on in the track, and hopefully give some tips to how to make some cool dark ambient stuff. So yeah, let's hop into the studio and into the Ableton project and see what we have going on. So here we are in the project. Let's take a listen to a little bit of the track first. Cool. So a couple of different stuff going on. Let's take it from the top and go through the different elements in the track. First off, I made this chord progression. This is an F minor, just playing the root, the fifth, and the third, and then we go to a C minor, and then we go to a C sharp major. So we're in like an F minor vibe. The synth I've used for this is synth called Diva. I use this a lot when I need to make some ambient stuff. I've used a preset from a third-party pack called Basic Waves Analog Exploration Volume 1, and it's by someone called Bound to Divide. The shop link is here if you want to check it out. It has a lot of cool different stuff in it. The one I've used is called Dust, and all I've done to it is taking out some of the noise. And then I've put on an Echo Boy to get some 8th note delay, and then of course some reverb to get that really wide washed out ambient sound. I've used Valhalla Supermassive, the Hydra Harp preset, which is in the large section of the plugin, and then I've just turned down the mix to around 30%. Then I've EQ'd it a little bit just to take out some more of the low end and a bit of the high end. And then I have a utility plugin at the end just to automate the gain on it. I added after that element was some kind of vocal. This is just a breathy R sound from Amondo loop packs. It's the organic lo-fi hip-hop pack. It's just a vocal drone that I've pitched a couple different ways just to fit the chord progression. On the sound I have Valhalla Supermassive reverb, again the Hydra reverb, taking out the low end again, fully wet. And then I've for some reason added another one to really get it to wash out at around 70%. Still the Hydra Harp, this time I put down the delay a little bit. Then I added another breath. This first one I've panned all the way to the left, then I added another one to the right side that I've pitched some different notes, but still to fit the chord progression. And then I have the same chain on it. Then I've added a synth to the right side, which is a Vital sound. This is from a Mondo Loops pack. It's the Mondo Loops Lo-Fi Bank 1 called Organic Texture Magic. On the sound I'm playing just some of the chord tones. On that sound again, Supermassive, Hydra Harp, turn down the delay a little bit, 50% wet, again to get a lot of reverb on it, and then I've gained it, automated the gain a little bit so it comes swelling in. Then to even out the sound, because we have this synth on the right side, I've put another one on the left side to even out the sound. This guy is from Diva, and it's again from the Basic Waves third-party pack, and it's a pad called Meta. Sounds like this on its own. And again, I've just used some of the chord tones. I think it's the same as the other synth. So together they even each other out, but still we get that wide reverb sound. If we have both of them just going in the middle, like this. Still sounds pretty cool, but both of the sounds kind of get in each other's way, so when you put them out to the sides, you get an even wider sound, and they make room for each other so they don't compete too much. Another synth I have on, this one is going straight down the middle. This is again from that third party Diva, pack, and this is one of them called Pluto. And this time I've just played all the notes in the chords, and then I have an arpeggiator. That sounds like this. This is the arpeggiator from Ableton at an 1/8 note rate. This is just going up and then starts from the bottom and then it goes up again. Sound I've used is from Vital. I made this myself. This is just a sine wave, and then I've pulled down the sustain and the decay so it gets this pluggy sound. Without the effects, it sounds like this. Then I also have this noise. This is just a pink noise. Then I've added on an echo boy to get the 1/8 note delay. This is ping pong, so it goes left and right. Then I have the supermassive, of course, just to really wash it out. Then an EQ to take out a little bit of the high end and a lot of the low end. Then again we have a utility plugin automating the gain. And then we have an auto pan to get a really wide sound. Then I've EQ'd a little bit of the frequencies here at 791 Hz because they kind of poke the ear. This is without. This is with the EQ, just to tame a little bit of those harsh frequencies. Then I've added some more vocal stuff here. All these next vocal stuff is from an old cymatics pack called Eternity, I think. Let's see if I can find it. And it has a lot of different cool vocal stuff I use a lot. If you can still find the pack, I recommend checking it out. It has some cool drums as well and some bass stuff. I've used this first line on the left side, and then I took another one to the right side. And then a third down the middle. And then an harmony here, also down the middle. And these just repeat two times more. On all of these I have the same stuff. Valhalla Supermassive, Hydra Harp, fully wet. And then an EQ taking out almost all of the low end. And a little bit of a boost of high end. Then I've also added this. Just some pad I found in a sample pack I have. Take out some of the low end and then took wider and pushed it all the way out to the side. Maybe a little bit too much, but you know. So all those different stuff sounds like this together. In dark ambient stuff, you almost always hear a respace with a super intense high cut. So of course I had this. This is just some res one shot I found on Splice, and then I've made sure it loops so you can hold the note. Sounds like this. And then of course we need to have some sort of atmosphere sound. For this track I decided to use some rain and thunder. So that's all the stuff in the track. On the bus with all the ambient stuff, so without the bass and the rain, I have this sketch cassette plugin because I want to get a real nostalgic kind of feeling. So I've used this tape cassette emulator with the Hi How Are You preset. So this is with it. If I take it off, you can hear a lot more high end gets introduced without it. But with it you get some this wow and this flutter, and then we also have some dropouts in the sound. Just to really get that nostalgic tape cassette kind of vibe. To really tie the sound together and also compress all the things together a little bit just to get a unified sound. For the arrangement, I have different automated stuff going on. So we introduce the elements at different times so we don't get overwhelmed with stuff. I start, of course, with that first piano, and then I slowly introduce some of the vocal stuff, and the pad get introduced slowly, and all of the different stuff come in at different times. So in terms of arrangement, stuff like that, you really need to experiment with that. But make sure you introduce the elements slowly instead of at the same time, all of them. So this was my first attempt at making a dark ambient track. I hope some of the stuff I've done and told was a little bit helpful at least. This is definitely a genre I will explore some more. I'm planning on doing some sort of EP or album with a couple different dark ambient tracks. So yeah, if you have anything you want to see from me in the future, make sure you leave a comment. And yeah, that's it for today. Remember, as always, someday things will get better. See you guys.